welcome to tonight's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you, artist Vero G. She'll be with us for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. And like I said, I have a very special guest for you, artist Vero G. She's with us tonight.
Yes.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. So
Okay.
BX is in the house.
Yes, woo woo.
Yeah, BX here. We got BX here. So definitely, we're happy to have you here because you do so many great things. You know, you're into music, you write, dance, a whole gamut. Entertainment is really your thing.
No,
so,
definitely a little bit something.
well, let's kind of, just let everyone at home know
Okay,
a little bit about who is Vero G.
Oh man, I make it short and sweet. Okay, so I give a little backstory to you guys and your amazing viewers and yourself. Basically, I born and raised on the West Side. Been inspired with music all my life since the age of 7 years old. My parents inspired me. Hey, listen, you got something as a gift, go for it, and give it to the world and give it back to you in return. So at that time, at the age of 7, I will say music really was just a passion. As I kept on down the line, I was in school choir. I actually worked with Al Sharpton with the change choir for a year. I took a break from that because I was going to school at the same time. It was too much. I said, let me just do what I have to do, focus on school, and then maybe down the line I'll go back to them. But with the time frame, music was still there. So eventually, I started professionally working over 5 years now as an artist, working in various gigs, locations, performances, showcases, all that. And been working on, just as you see here on the table, I just have my albums called Trials and Tribulations, my debut album, yes.
Yes,
so,
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm super excited about that. Also, I have released around 2 years ago already my Christmas album, which is called It's Christmas Time, Vero G. So that's already, it's not on stores, guys, unfortunately. So I'm doing old school style. They have to contact me and release a, give them a copy and stuff and sign it. But that is the EP album that's already out for 2 years, and then this one just came out last year, August. So I'm super excited for both projects, and
of course.
Yeah, there's more to come, but I'm just making sure it's sweet.
So at the age of 7, when you first got into music, your parents, were they really supportive? I know you said they kind of pushed you along that, but when they realized, okay, this girl really wants to do music for real.
Oh, I like that.
How did that all come about, and how were they supportive?
Of course, definitely. I would say my dad, he was like the head of the household, you could say, and he was more like old school style Spanish. Like, listen, music is always there in the household. So enforced with that in the household, the parents singing and then just going along with it. I feel like my dad, my mom, both of themselves, I feel like they really influenced me more than anything because they saw that I have a passion with it and say, wow, you like to sing with the songs, you like to dance in the house. So maybe from that moment on, they realized they saw something special and said, wow, look, if you got something at the house, why don't you go out there and give it to the world,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So this current project that you have out, there's actually 2 projects, but the album that you released last year, kind of tell us about that. What's the overall feel of the album?
Ooh, she's getting the juicy stuff now. Okay, so definitely, of course. So, the album is called Trials and Tribulations. Basically, it consists of 13 songs. Basically, I have 3 collaborations, and there were a lot of great independent artists in there. Overall, the song itself, the album itself, basically, is about things I went through my past. Trials and tribulations, the ups and downs, and I felt like there was the album I had to put out there, to perfect it and put out there and give great music out there to have other people appreciate it, Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind sharing,
Sure.
what are some of the tribulations? Because you might be able to actually help somebody. You never know what somebody is going through, and music is therapy.
Oh my God, yes, 110%.
Music is therapy. A lot of people can't afford therapy. Music gets you through so much.
Yes, definitely.
But what's a little bit of your story that led to the writing?
Actually, it's good you say that. In the album itself, Trials and Tribulations, there's things I went through my past, which I have actually, my autobiography is called Trials and Tribulations, also an autobiography of Vero G. It's on Amazon, by the way. I'm saying anything about, if you're going to check it out, just check it out. Just a plug in there. But if you guys want to check it out, the song itself, the album itself is coincide with the autobiography because it relates to things of those who are out there watching this video or this amazing show when you get a chance. I was a victim of domestic violence. I was a rape victim. I was homeless and pregnant, and so much things I went through with the short span of life I have in this world. And I felt like there was a time to reach out to many women out there as yourself, anybody that's had encountered situations I went through, and to realize, you know what, if she went through it and she utilized her music as an outlet to put it out her heart and soul into this album or anything out that nature, down on life and music wise, then that should inspire me to do anything I want to do in life.
Wow.
Thank you.
So you were actually pregnant and homeless.
Yes, ma'am. I was my only child, one child, and at the time, me and my son's father, we were down and out basically. And at that time, I felt, it wasn't a great situation where I should have been at. I should have been at my mom's house, and there was a lot of situations, personal things at that time. So I felt like, I loved him. I ran away, and at that time, he couldn't really
provide.
Exactly. Give me things I shouldn't need, the basic needs. And he, unfortunately, we ended up being in the streets and sleeping in the bench park, being in the emergency room, sleeping overnight, pretending we were patients just to get arrested somehow. And I was pregnant, so imagine that my feet were swollen. I went through so much, girl. The book, I don't want to say too much, the book has more detail. And at the same time, I almost lost my child because it was a point where he used to beat on me also in the street. And people would stop, and we got arrested twice because of that. People would call the cops, and
oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot in the book. I don't want to get too much away, but the book has a lot of very graphic details, and I want people out there to know that you're not alone. You are loved. You are known that no matter what any man or woman tells you, in the day you have to love yourself. That's the main thing. And if you have something special in this world, go for it. Why not?
And that brings me to my next point. After were able to survive that, leave that situation, move past, how did you rebuild your self-esteem and your self-confidence? Because most victims of domestic violence, they're shattered from that. And it's not that you can't recover, but they almost get it into your head that everything that they're projecting onto you, that it's you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not.
Big time. It took me a while because, even though I was living with him for some time after, we had finally got a place and everything, and we eventually just cut our ties. We were still friends, but, for my son's sake, our son's sake. It took me a good 3 years to really build my self-esteem and my confidence. And I was going to school at the time, too, so then later on, someone told me one day, they were taking pictures of me, and they're like, hey, you're photogenic. And that's what happened. When they saw that, and you could do modeling. And I said, really? Me? Because the confidence wasn't there. So, yeah, and at the time, that's when I started building the confidence through photography, through modeling, doing, shows here. And I felt like, wow, if I went through so much stuff in my life in the past, and with the one person told me the most kindest thing, which I never thought, I never realized that until down the line, I said, wow, the kindness of people is a stranger, which is crazy. The strangest things of people who you don't know who are family could motivate you to become something so beautiful in this world.
That is truly amazing. And when you think
you.
about it, it is.
Aww.
And being able to rebuild that's super important. But we'll take a quick break.
Sure.
We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. So Vero G, so much that you actually experienced, and this is fantastic to have you here and be able to talk about these things and your work.
Yes,
so after you're a young mother, you're trying to move through. How did you actually continue to bridge everything together? Being a mother, writing music, trying to model. How did that all mesh together?
I think the best thing I can tell you for anybody out there who's watching is balance. Is to have a great support with your family and loved ones that really see that you want to pursue something in life instead of just being stagnated. And I feel like with, going to school, which was a lot of work as college, and then being a single mom, and then it was a lot of work. But I'll tell you one thing, overall, I would say is just believe in yourself. If you have something you feel like, as you could be an artist or anybody in any kind of work field, if you have something out there, just go for it. Even though you're gonna go through ups and downs, it's not gonna be easy, but down the long run, it's gonna be worth the while. I'll tell you. And like I said, for me, it was just balance and just basically having people that really did support you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Thank
how's your family situation now with your parents, your mother, your immediate family?
Yeah. They're great. They're very, very very happy I'm doing. And actually, I just want to announce this Saturday, just the second annual LDM award show, which I'm nominated for 2 awards. I'm praying. I'm not saying anything. I'm crossing my toes right now. So I'm gonna be there. It's at if I could put the address there, it's 940 Garrison Avenue in the Bronx, by Hunts Point. And doors open at 5. Show starts at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Other nominees will be there, and it's amazing. Again, it's the second annual LDM award show for independent artists, and it's from when I'm looking back now, talking to you what I went through in the past, and now just talking to you in this amazing show. I feel like I survived. I'm here. I'm a survivor. I'm a trooper, and I want to show those that listen. If I'm here talking to an amazing person and to discuss what I went through, you guys out there, don't feel like you're alone. You're not.
Absolutely. And what about your son?
Oh,
How
my God.
does he, when you tell him the stories about this? Because of course he would be too young to understand the
Yeah.
early parts.
I'm very cautious of what I tell certain things. So I don't want him to feel a certain way where he has like, wow, this stain in my past.
Very
Because
true.
no, definitely. And I feel like it's only certain things that have to do, because until he's like I say a certain age where he's already becoming a teenager. So it's like I have to get ready for that kind of situation with him at hand. But for what I went through in the past, I feel like it's certain things down the line as an adult I will explain to him, because he's gonna ask questions. Kids,
Absolutely.
they always question everything about everything.
It's true.
Yeah, thank you.
But what has been the most challenging part of this whole process for you in your overall journey?
Oh my gosh. I would say overall it's honestly, like, I have to be honest with you guys. The biggest setback for me is the financial part, you could say. You do have a lot of supporters and people that do believe in you, but there's a lot of people that will say they're there for you to buy your stuff or just support you, and it shows and they don't show up. And that's a huge disappointment, because, as an independent artist, we don't get a lot of support as it is. And you're basically your own boss. You have to book yourself gigs. You have to go out there, hustle hard, and try to even sell a product if you can, your merchandise. So for people to really give that 110% support on your back and you with your product and what you are as a brand, that's amazing. Now I've been having that so far, but before that, it was really struggle, big time.
I could imagine.
Thank you. Thank you.
What about, because like we were saying, you rep the Bronx.
Whoop,
So when
whoop.
you see people like Cardi B who come up
Oh man,
literally from being a dancer to getting into the music and still having challenges, but she's finally getting a little bit of light on her. How does that make you feel?
I feel proud. I mean, she's a Latina as myself, so it's like amazing as it is. And she's from the BX as J-Lo as well. And they're two strong, independent women that they didn't take nothing at all from anybody, not from no man or nothing. And they said, listen, even though they had an interesting past, they realized I got to struggle, hustle, and go out there and do what I have to do to provide for my family and for those that, that look up to me. And I'm really proud of both of them, J-Lo and also Cardi B. Just shout out Cardi B. Ow. Throw it in there. So, I mean, anybody in nature who really want to pursue something, just, you have a role model out there for somebody out there, like any young girl out there, and not particularly Cardi B. I love her, but not for young girls. But definitely, and anybody out there that just want to have a role model for somebody who's a strong, independent Latina or woman of color, don't ever let nobody or man tell you any different. Just go for it. Just have that driving you straight to focus what you have to do.
It's true. Now, with social media
Yes.
out there, how has that played a part in your career?
Ooh, it helped a lot. Definitely. I would say, all the social media platforms I have, a lot of people are really great people who I don't even know. They contact me, either inbox me or message me and say, hey, listen, I love your music, I heard your stuff, or I saw you in another show, I just keep up the great work. And, just the other day, this happened 2 years ago.